Hi everyone, CraftyLori here. I'm here to give you creative inspiration. For today's Cook With Me, I will be cooking a spinach quiche. A spinach quiche is basically eggs, cheese, and spinach. And this is a ready-made pie crust. I like the Pillsbury kind, the kind that unrolls. And I also have my oven preheating to 375 degrees. So I'm just going to roll that thawed crust right onto my pie pan, and that's my favorite pie pan. If this ever gets wrecked or it gets dented or becomes unusable, I will cry. And that's some tin foil, and I'm just crinkling that around the edge so the edge of my pie doesn't get too brown. And now I'm adding 6 eggs to a bowl, and I like this quiche because it uses a lot of eggs, and I'm whisking them up because I have my own chickens, so I have lots of eggs. And that's 1 cup of 2% milk that I'm adding to the whisked eggs. And like my cup, it's a kitty measuring cup. And I'm just going to whisk that milk into those eggs. And I'm going to set that aside, and I'm chopping up half an onion, so about small onion, so about half a cup maybe of onions. And that's a garlic clove, and it's a small one, so I peeled that and I cut it up. And I'm adding about 3 tablespoons of butter to a pan, and I'm adding that garlic and the onions to the pan, and that's frozen chopped spinach. And I'm going to add a heaping cupful of that spinach into the pan with the onions, butter, and garlic. And yeah, heaping cupful. And while I was whisking the eggs and getting everything else ready, I had that pie crust cooking in my oven for about 10 minutes at 375. So I'm going to set that aside. And here's the spinach, onions, and garlic, and I'm going to fry that up on the stove, and just until the onions get nice and translucent, and then I know it's finished. And I'm also cooking that at about a medium heat, just so you know. But once it's, the onions are translucent, you know it's finished. And this is my cookie sheet. This is the one that isn't my good cookie sheet. So I'm going to use that to put the pie crust on. And don't forget this part, otherwise it's hard to carry to the oven. And I have my pie crust there, and now I'm going to grab some shredded cheese, and this is cheddar cheese. And I'm going to add 1 cup of cheddar cheese to the bottom of that pie crust. And then once I get that into the pie crust, I'm going to grab some mozzarella cheese. And the mozzarella cheese is also shredded cheese. And I'm going to add 1 cup of that to the existing cheddar cheese in the bottom of the pie crust. And I kind of mix it around a little bit. So that's a total of 2 cups of cheese. And now I have my spinach mixture, and it's still hot. So I'm going to put it in this bowl, and then I'm going to put it in the freezer for a little bit. I should have probably done that while I was putting the cheese in the pie crust, but I forgot about it. So I'm going to put that into the freezer. Otherwise, if I add it to my eggs, it will cook my eggs, and I don't want that. But yeah, it's really hot. So here's the eggs, and there's the cooled mixture of spinach, and I just whisk that in, dump it in the pie shell. And now it's time to stick it in the oven. And the oven is heated up to 375 degrees. So I'm just going to stick that in my oven, and I'll push that towards the middle, but not all the way to the back. And then I'm going to set my timer for 35 minutes. And there's the finished quiche. And I want to make sure it's cooked all the way through because you don't want to eat raw eggs. So I'm going to grab a butter knife, and then I'm going to insert that butter knife into the middle of the quiche and to see if it comes out clean. And it comes out clean, so yay, that means it's finished. So my quiche is finished. And this is what I served for supper, and everybody enjoyed it, and it was super yummy, and I even ate some the next day warmed up, and it was still good. And I think it would have been super yummy with like some sour cream or salsa on top. That would have been super good. If you're new to my channel, welcome. Be sure to hit that subscribe button and click the notification bell. And remember to create something great. Thanks for watching. Bye.